Hello there, and welcome back to the Top List Archive. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 10 powerful tips and tricks for speaking English fluently. Stay tuned. Fluency is the stage of learning a language when things just click. It takes a lot of time and effort to reach this level, so many people don't think it's realistic. But thousands of people reach fluency in the English language every year, and with enough determination, you can too. To help you out, I will be showing you the 10 tips and tricks required. Number 1, start speaking English as much as possible. The one thing you absolutely have to do to speak English fluently is get more speaking practice. Almost all advice on achieving your fluency goals will eventually come down to this. Nothing else you can do is as effective or as important. If you're living in a country where spoken English is not common, finding opportunities to practice can be difficult. Try some of these methods. Buddy up with an English speaker who is learning your native language. If you don't know anyone, try downloading a language exchange app. Schedule one-on-one online classes with an English tutor to get expert advice on your English speaking skills. Use English learning apps with speech recognition software. Connect with a small group of international learners in online group classes. Number 2. Get a personal tutor. If you are serious about becoming fluent in English, invest in a personal language tutor. Talking to an expert English tutor even just once per week can dramatically boost your progress. You'll be able to ask questions about English regularly, discuss new words relevant to your own life, and receive feedback on your English conversation skills in real time. It's much easier to stick to a regular learning routine when you feel accountable to and comfortable with somebody. Study with an English teacher, and you'll have your own personal language coach. Number 3. Expose yourself to English every single day. If you want to speak fluently, it's vital to get as much exposure to English as possible. You should be doing something in English every day. Even if you're not actively studying, there are simple changes you can make to your environment to help expose yourself to English. Change your phone, social media, and tablet settings to English. Listen to English music. Read the news in English. Commit to watching TV shows and movies in English. Keep a language journal in English. This technique is called language immersion. It's a great way to get used to the sounds and text of a new language and to reinforce what you have learned. Number 4. Make the most of technology. How many apps to learn English do you have on your phone right now? Probably at least one. The digital age has revolutionized language learning, and it's easy to forget how lucky that makes us. There's a wealth of study technology available, so choose carefully. Make sure that you're using the most effective resources for your own study habits and that you're not falling into the trap of relying too heavily on game-like apps. Apps have many limitations, and you will still need to mix up your activities to learn English faster. Number 5. Use resources made for your level. If you're determined to reach fluency, it can be tempting to skip over resources made for intermediate-level English learners and jump straight into content made for fluent English speakers. Every ambitious language learner has done this at some point or another. However, the reality is that you'll get a lot more from your study hours if you use resources made for your level. For instance, instead of watching the latest American blockbuster with subtitles in your own language, try watching an episode of an English language cartoon without any subtitles. You will understand far more and gain more new vocabulary from the context. Number 6. Work on your pronunciation. Working on your pronunciation is helpful for a few reasons. We all need to be understood, and pronunciation practice helps us speak with clarity. This doesn't mean that you need to get rid of your accent, not at all. But it will be frustrating for you and other English speakers if they do not understand you. Some of the work in becoming fluent and pronouncing words clearly is physical. If your native language sounds very different from English, then you will need to pay attention to moving your mouth and tongue in a new way. Native Spanish speakers, for example, sometimes say that speaking English for long periods of time makes their jaw ache. One exercise you can try is using Youglish, a tool where you can hear any sentence in a variety of English accents. This is great to repeat along to and practice your pronunciation, and it also improves your listening skills. Number 7. Learn whole phrases, not just words. Fluency is the ability to speak whole sentences without hesitation. If you learn English one word at a time, it will be very hard not to hesitate when constructing sentences. That's because you'll have to translate every sentence in your head from your native language, word by word. There is another way. Learning new words as part of a common phrase can ease mental strain when speaking. To take a very basic example, if you are learning the word tonight, it would help to try and learn a whole phrase, such as, "Tonight, I am going to this way." When you need to discuss your plans for the evening, your brain has half the reply prepared. There's less pausing and thinking involved. Learning lists of phrases in a new language is also known as sentence mining. Fans claim that it makes them able to use new vocabulary faster and memorize grammar in a more natural way. Number 8. Accept that you will feel uncomfortable speaking English. For almost everyone, learning a new language means fighting through a fear barrier. This is completely normal. Your native language is a very precise tool for describing concepts. You are completely aware of the subtle implications your words carry, how to use irony and humor, and how word stress can slightly change the meaning of what you're saying. By comparison, speaking in any new language feels like using a blunt axe. You can't say exactly what you mean. You might offend someone or make a fool of yourself. You certainly won't seem as smart as you really are. It's intimidating. Few language learners talk about how much it stinks. Number 9. Consider a big lifestyle change. It almost goes without saying, the fastest way to become fluent in English is to move to an English-speaking country. If you are determined to speak fluent English and can relocate for a few months, this will save you a lot of time. However, for most people, this just won't be possible. Don't worry if that applies to you, because there are other big lifestyle changes you can make to boost your English level, including get a job or an intensive hobby that involves speaking English. You could always teach English speakers your native language on Preply. Clean out your spare room and use it to host English-speaking travelers via a service like Couchsurfing. If others in your household are learning English, create times when you only speak English together, perhaps at mealtimes, on Monday evenings, or in the car. Number 10. Don't focus too much on English grammar. Native speakers disobey the rules of their own language all the time. This is something you'll know if you've ever had to type out a recording of a spoken English conversation. Many British high school students don't know what a phrasal verb is, even though they use them all the time. Grammar rules are useful to be aware of. They're essential to study at some point, but they should be lower on your list of priorities than getting more English speaking practice. Most of the time, you will be understood even if your grammar isn't perfect. Aim to be understandable, and after a little bit of work, grammatical rules will start to sink in naturally. If you love this content, like this video, and subscribe to this channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.